Então estamos aqui na SBGames, dia de fechamento. Estou aqui com o Dante Anderson, da KUMA, e a gente vai falar um pouquinho com ele sobre convergência, que é o grande tema do evento. Dante, it's a pleasure to meet you and to have you here in SBGames. And so I want to know, I want you to tell to our public, what do you think about convergence in games, about Facebook and all that you have said on your keynote? A little resume to our public on eArenaGames.com. Can you tell us?
Well, I spoke about it for an hour, and people like me can talk for like a day about that. But I'll tell you one thing that I didn't know, is that, well, I only found out just before my talk that Orkut is kind of the big Facebook in Brazil.
Yeah.
And I also didn't realize that Brazil has almost 200 million people. So I'm going to do some research, and whoever's listening to this probably knows, but it'd be interesting to see how many, Brazilians are Orkut members, but also how many members Orkut has worldwide.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you make a game, casual game, and I'm guessing there's maybe not too many for Orkut specifically, meaning it's tightly integrated. So when you play the game, you can see all your other friends who are playing the game, see their scores on a leaderboard, send them messages about your progress through the game, which is what Facebook is so good at. If there's not so many games, but lots, millions of people,
yeah,
someone should make a game for Orkut. Now, the problem, and I'm guessing, is that Orkut, perhaps doesn't have quite as many APIs, right, to make the friend messages, the leaderboards, easy to implement, because that's Facebook's genius, right? They make it real easy. As an example, if you have a junior programmer, not your best programmer, he doesn't have to be a seasoned low-level programmer. You get your worst programmer basically to implement the Facebook APIs, right? Because they're relatively easy for a programmer. So anyway, maybe it's not so simple, but you just have to be a little smarter, or it usually just takes more time to integrate. So again, and this is total speculation, but whoever, maybe someone's listening or reading this in Brazil, maybe they should check it out.
Yeah. So Nancy, Brazilian markets have problems with piracy and false products because of high taxes and other else. But we have one of the biggest access time on the internet. So on Twitter we are exponential potent. We are growing ever and ever.
Yeah.
How can we explain that Brazil is a great country on internet, but not also in games? What's the problem, and do you think we can reverse that?
Well, okay. If you're suggesting that some of that problem is because of piracy, and I think some of it is, there's a lot of new business models you can study now that relate to giving stuff away for free. So I can tell you a funny story, actually. I don't know how much time you have, but
you can. Go on.
In KUMA games is given away for free. So if somebody pirates our stuff, we're like, oh darn, you pirated our stuff. So I forgot about this. In a couple years ago in Brazil, somebody took all of our stuff, put it on a disc, and packaged it in a nice little, with a cardboard and a little image, and they were selling it for the equivalent of a couple of dollars.
Yeah.
So we started getting a lot of calls in Portuguese. So we even hired some customer service people, Portuguese, right? And we were like, find out what the hell is going on. And they said everybody's angry because they paid money for it, and when you pay money, you expect better service. And we're like, nah, no. I mean, who were they paying?
Yeah.
Not us. So it was these guys down here, and we're like, hey, you guys, you can pirate our stuff all you want, but you got to put a telephone number on there, or we will, we'll try and come after you in Brazil. And they weren't too worried about it. They said, look, come on, let's just be friends. We said, yeah, we don't want to come after anybody, So we worked it all out. But anyway, that's my little story. But to get back to the point, there's lots of free and then pay combinations. The hot thing now is give it away for free and put in microtransactions. Those are much harder to pirate. You have to start breaking into the credit card system and all that. Ad supported is another good thing. You give it away, it can't be pirated. Because of the recession, at least in North America and Europe now, the ad money is really, really low. But if you're patient, or Brazil is more of a steady economy. You can get a little bit of revenue from ads, right? So the whole free thing is a really good way to go in areas with piracy.
Oh, yeah. So then, what are you guessing about Brazilian developers and all the conference SBGames?
Well, I mean, people have been asking me this. I've been impressed by almost everything. That the high school, was it the Nave High School? Yeah, we're at the awards. You know, that place just looks awesome. It has this like mural. I mean, from the time you go in the door to the time you leave, it's like a facility that anybody in like the hippest, like in Finland or something, with the hippest architecture in the world. That's up there. Imagine going to that high school. My high school, crap. I mean, it's a good school, but it looked, it's like ugly. And the kids were totally conscientious, really smart. I asked them about making a game for 2016. They gave answers at least as good as the college kids. Here, when I was working on my talk a little bit in between, I listened to, mostly in Portuguese, a bunch of the students here. But I'm a programmer, and they were doing, they were, what I could see, that they're smart guys. And it's not surprising. In any country you go, the best programmers are going to be as good as the best programmers. So the talent in Brazil is world class. They just need a little bit more time to get a little bigger. And but then you've got Ubisoft. The guy from Ubisoft is taking the development community here seriously, and he's hiring. So you guys are all set.
Dante, thank you for your interview. I want you to let a message to people who is listening us on E-Arena Games.
Oh, say that again. Repeat that, please.
Can you let a message to people who is listening to us on E-Arena Games?
Oh, a message?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know. What is my message? Well, I'll tell you that the karaokes are as fun as everybody says they are. The only one thing that tries to put down their irrepressible joie de vivre is the rain. Chuva. See, it's a bad thing. When a tourist knows the word chuva, it's not a good thing.
No,
but,
that's bad.
But I had a lot of fun last night with all of the local people. And I would recommend anybody 2014 and 2016 to come to town and for the event. So that's my message.
Okay, thank you, Dante.
Okay, ciao. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure.
Yeah. Hey.